Hey everybody, Ryan and Jonathan here. Wanted to film a quick video to help illuminate some questions as we approach the second half year of 2026, specifically as it relates to Commonwealth, our broker-dealer, and LPL. For those who did not catch this last year, they are merging. About this time last year, they announced that. And we wanted to film a quick video to help people understand what that means specifically to our firm, what that means to you, and give you some guidance and color. So feel free throughout this video to skip along through the various sections. But just wanted to start by talking about what is actually happening. Again, Commonwealth was acquired by LPL. It's a different kind of acquisition to where LPL is keeping Commonwealth for all intents and purposes. It's same thing. Why would a client care? Honestly, this is about our ability to best serve our clients. And so who we affiliate with, which broker dealers, is not something that you need to necessarily lose a ton of sleep over. It's our job to make sure that they can prepare us best for your journeys.
All right, so obviously little system shock for Jonathan and I when we found out that news. So we spent the better part of the summer of last year, frankly, doing our due diligence. Okay, so we wanted to learn, who is LPL, right? What's staying the same, what's changing, but we also, frankly, took the opportunity to say, okay, wait a minute, let's look at what else is out there again, and let's make sure that we find the right home for us, in terms of which broker dealer we're going to be with. And so we interviewed some big names you guys are probably very familiar with, across the independent broker dealer space. We also looked at different RIA models. I'll spare you the dissertation on that. But at the end of the day, we kept coming back, frankly, to LPL and what will be Commonwealth by LPL, here this November. And frankly, a variety of reasons for that. There's some things we're excited about on the tech side, some additional capabilities we're excited about, but also just from a transition standpoint, this is going to be the easiest on all of you, and will look nothing like the transition back in 2023.
All right, so a couple of things for you to know about here as we enter the summer as it relates to this. The first thing is that in July, there's a big piece of mail that they have to send you. Obviously, Commonwealth and LPL have to inform you that that transaction is occurring. It is what we hear 1 to 200 page regulatory requirement. The big thing that we want you to know is that no action is required on your behalf. It is a requirement that they send it to you, but there is nothing that you need to do with that. In fact, we encourage folks, if they're willing, for just this one piece of mail, to opt into receiving it electronically so it doesn't take over your entire mailbox. Many of you are already enrolled in that. If you want to make sure that you get this via electronic means or email, just let us know and we'll make sure you're added to that list. Otherwise, you might get a pretty big piece of mail in July. So the last part, there's probably going to be a part 2. We're going to film maybe multiple videos to prepare everybody for the end of the year when the actual conversion happens. As Ryan mentioned earlier in the video, this is not only the best home for us, but should be the path of least resistance for all of you. We do want to make sure that we create as little disruption in your lives as humanly possible while still having the ability to do our best job for you. So there should be, come November, when the actual conversion happens and Commonwealth officially becomes a part of LPL, there should be very little that you need to do. In fact, in most cases, there will be no paperwork that's required. In a couple of cases on the outsides, there will be. But there will be a period in mid-November in which we are going to focus on making sure that everything gets to its right place. And so we're going to be scheduling some normal reviews that may have popped up with you in November, December. We're going to try and push those to September, October to give our team the space to make sure that the conversion is successful. All right, so we also wanted to take a little bit to talk about the end of the year when the actual conversions take place, to just start to prepare you for what to expect at that time. Again, our objective is to be as least disruptive to you as possible. And we do think, as Ryan mentioned earlier in the video, that this is going to achieve that. But we wanted to talk to you about what's going to happen. We'll probably talk more about it throughout the summer. In November, mid-November, there's going to be a conversion of tech platforms, and in some cases, it's going to be a different custodian that's used as well. There's two different things that are going to be happening to client accounts. The first one is what the industry calls a tape-to-tape conversion. You can't tape-to-tape convert unless it's an acquisition like this, to where things basically start at one place and overnight get beamed over to the next. So in this case, NFS as a custodian will go away in November, and everything will be moved over to LPL that is currently custodied at NFS.
Yeah, and what does tape to tape effectively mean to the client? And there's no paperwork required for vast majority of the accounts here. We will explicitly reach out to you if we need paperwork from you, but it's highly unlikely. The vast majority of folks aren't going to have to sign any paperwork. What you're going to see on your end is your statements are going to say Commonwealth today, and the following week they're going to say LPL. That's going to be the functional change that you see. Also, I would say that the tech is going to change. So, like the current Investor 360 is going away. It's going to be using LPL's tech platform. I'm happy to tell you that the performance data is going to carry over. Obviously, this did not happen for those of you that have been with us, since before our transition to Tomiros. Again, your performance will carry over here, in November. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, everything's getting mapped over. Beneficiaries, if you have automatic deposits or distributions coming out of those accounts, those are all getting mapped over too. So very little intervention required, and it's going to be our job to make sure everything came over exactly as it should have. So from an office's perspective, we're going to spend a lot of time in November and December focusing on making sure that everything happened the way it should, and sitting down with clients to help to get them acclimated if there is a new statement that they might see, or if there's new tech that they need to get logged in. It's pretty straightforward, but we want to be available to you. And I just wanted to add one thing related to some of our third parties, such as SEI, if you have an SEI account. That is also going to transition rather seamlessly, and in fact, maybe even a little more seamlessly. Nothing's moving. The custodian is not changing. The account numbers are all going to be the same. It's just overnight. One night you go to bed and it's Commonwealth as the broker-dealer, and then you wake up and it's LPL as the broker-dealer, but nothing functionally will be changing in that.
Yeah, so we use this term conversion and tape to tape and acquisition, and at the end of the day, very little friction, very little fundamentally is changing, and frankly, there's very little impact at the end of the day. The clients, most of the impact is on Jonathan and Ryan, but we're here for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll continue to provide updates here over the summer and into the fall.